closer to my router because I'm a little further from it and you keep disconnecting.
Nah, it's all good. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of I.O.W. Sports. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday. Your man Randy Weber is in the building. Waka Mar is in the building. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. We'll talk about, some of the headlines going on in the NBA. Obviously, we'll recap NFL. The Giants gave my brother a late birthday gift. We'll definitely talk about that. Hey, it's I.O.W. Sports episode 494. Hey, let's get to it.
Yeah. Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mar. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes. It's I.O.W. Sports Show. It's Taco Tuesday. It's Randy Weber. This is Wild Card in the building, episode 494. Hey, man, y'all saw the intro of the show. We got some stuff to talk about. All right. But before we get off into our NFL tangent, because, hey, once we get to talking NFL, we don't know how long this show going to last. So we'll kind of put that on the back burner for right now. But before we get on to our sports, man, hey, how you doing, bro? I hope everything's good, man. How you doing? Happy belated birthday. That's what we need to start for first off, and happy belated birthday. I know you got a little special gift later in the birthday day for you.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And this proves that my birthday. Hold up. Yeah. This
That's what you calling? Okay. Shout out to Silver 6877. Hey, shout out to you for the early predictions. I will say this: if Eagles lose that game on Friday, if Caleb Williams beats that team,
I'm a gloat like crazy, bro. Because I done called that shit. That was my hottest take of my predictions.
Hey, bro, you think all hell has been breaking loose on that offense and how they've been struggling, and that defense is being Super Bowl caliber, getting wasted by a trash offense, and they lose to Caleb Williams? Hey, bro, I'm telling you right now. Them Philly fans is gonna call every radio station. The hell you get beat by a fucking nail polisher? Bombs.
Oh, trust me. All right, hold up. I'm a believe me, I will shit on the Eagles. Believe me, I will be getting all up in that. I just want to first state that this does prove that my birthday has magical powers.
I'm just saying, bro.
Last year, the day after my birthday, I woke up to Daniel Jones being cut and Kendrick dropping GNX in the same day. Yesterday, I was waiting. My birthday was on Friday. I was like, when's Shane Bowen getting fired? When's it happening? They gave him one more game and then it was it. And that was out. So that's birthday sorcery right there.
I'm just letting, for those who haven't seen our content on Tuesdays with me and myself, and of course Randy. Randy's been calling for Shane's head since preseason. It's just preseason. He ain't even let bro get out of training camp and say, "Hey man, I'm telling you right now, bro, short leash."
Short leash, and he more
Hey,
more than used the cachet that he had, whatever cachet he had.
Ellie 14567. Hi, how you doing? Thank you. But look, I want to start here because obviously it's been a minute since we got together. You know, and then hey, obviously, so is it me? Obviously, I'm the Lakers fan here.
Mhm.
This is probably the only time that I've enjoyed seeing a LeBron in a Lakers uniform. It's been hard. I'm not trying to be a hater. Obviously, you know me. I'm not a fan of LeBron. But I don't know if JJ Redick figured it out or it was LeBron that figured it out, but he's actually letting Luka be number one.
Yeah.
Actually shocking, and it's kind of really been fucking me up mentally, but I like the way it looks. And granted, Austin Reeves, I don't know what's been going on with him. He must have got fell into some good coochie or something, but he's been playing a lot better this year than he's ever did. I mean, obviously the performances he's been putting out this year, I'd never seen that. I had on my bingo card. But am I crazy to really think that this might actually work?
I mean, no, I don't think it's crazy. I think it made sense that if LeBron was going to, like I've said before, if LeBron was going to accept Luka getting traded to the team, because we know how much power he has in those decisions, it had to imply that he was okay with being a second option. You're not taking the highest usage player in the NBA if you are not okay with being a second option. And that makes sense. He's tired. Like his knees ain't what they was. You know, he's tired. You know, maybe he doesn't want to be crazy ball dominant all the time anymore. Oh. And Ayton, there's been a lot of questions on if he could be a good center for y'all. He's been pretty good. I'm worried about that other boy, not Austin Reeves.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's hard to pronounce.
He's been good too.
I'm not even how to pronounce it.
yeah. The other white boy. I mean, it's not a bad squad. I don't know if they're necessarily gonna, do anything. We'll see.
LaRavia.
We'll see what happens, but a very, very promising start.
Yeah. I was just kind of taken back. I'm like, well, obviously, I wanted to see how they're gonna look like after integrating LeBron, obviously. And for them to not make sure that, hey, yeah, we know who you are by name and what you've done statistically. We know who you are, but you got a good thing going right now since you've been, nursing your injuries. So, let's we can't make it about you. We'll fold you in. We'll put you, we'll tuck you in there, you'll fold you in, but you can't be you. And I don't know if that's something JJ is actually determined to make happen. Like, hey, you can't mess up the chemistry. I know who you are, but you can't mess up the chemistry. I don't know if he's purposely doing that. Whoever's at fault for this, okay. I've been needing this since he came. I've been needing this. Just dynamic of let other stars be stars and let LeBron, if need be, he can still be the closer. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you have Luka and LeBron, who are two of the best people at taking over a game in the NBA, and if you have a bunch of other guys that can support them really well, that's it. As long as you don't Luka and like LeBron is like the one that everyone's concerned with being the one like, nah, this is the me show. Luka can also be like that. So if both of them can keep their egos cool,
yeah,
then you got something. And I think they can, because I think ultimately LeBron knows he's going to be retiring soon. I think he wants to leave on a high note.
Yeah.
Obviously he would love a championship. I'm not sure that that's happening, but
no, that's not happening.
Yeah, but like
his championship days are done.
Yeah, but he wants to leave on a high note, and he wants to leave with a good Lakers year. He doesn't want an embarrassing year where they don't make the playoffs to be his last year. I don't know if he even knows when his last year is going to be, but I think
I don't think he
I-
finished like a uniform.
yeah, I don't know who would take a 40-plus-year-old man.
Charlie, they'll take him in a heartbeat.
Are they able to pay him? Do they?
Washington would take him in a heartbeat. They get
Okay.
feels like a motherfucker.
Okay, they would take him. Would LeBron go there to finish his Hall of Fame career? I don't think he would. I think he would want to go to a contending team or like a star team, and any team that would be willing to give a bunch of young assets to get a guy for his last year. It would be insane. So I think he has to finish in a Lakers uniform. I don't think he has a choice in the matter. But I think that if he manages to do something, I mean, maybe the Cavaliers would do it as like a
Finish home.
yeah, like maybe as like a
Full circle.
wrap it up where it
Up
happened.
the shit up, B.
Yeah, but for a team that's contending in the East right now, it wouldn't make sense for them to do that. But they might just because tickets.
Nah. No, I just thought that was interesting what I've been seeing over the last about week and a half when it comes to NBA. Obviously, we'll get to your Knicks in a second because I'm pretty sure you got some thoughts on how they're doing right now. But what is one of the teams that it may have kind of caught you off guard? I'm like, they're slightly better than what I thought they were.
There's actually a bunch of them. I didn't expect a good amount of the teams to be better than to be as good as they've been. Pistons, I really didn't expect that. I thought they were going to be good. I didn't expect them to be on a crazy win streak. I didn't expect the Bulls to do anything, but it seems like they're starting to come back down to earth.
Yeah.
The Raptors, didn't expect that. Happy for RJ and Emmanuel quickly to be getting some shine, but I did not see that coming at all because they were nothing the year prior.
Yeah.
And the 76ers have been surprisingly good. So I would say those are the four teams that immediately come to mind of like, where were you last year? Why now? I guess I would say that those are my biggest surprise teams. Do you agree? Do you have any other ones you'd add?
I thought Detroit would be, definitely better than what they were last year. I didn't, obviously, with same like you, I didn't expect that type of streak that they're run that they're going to start the season off. And I thought it was cute, but the thing is like it's 82 games. Like, how long can you maintain that type of level of performance across 82 games? I'm not pissing on the Pistons. I'm not. I'm just saying it's way too early to start crowning. Way too early.
Of course, and that's kind of this early into an 82 season. It's like so many of these things are going to probably eventually even out.
It's too many ups and downs in the NBA season over 82 games for them to. And I'm not saying that they can't. I'm not saying is right now they're probably one of the better teams that are taking advantage of a very mass unit in the East. They're just taking advantage of it. Another team that I thought surprisingly I actually thought are having a slow start was Orlando Magic. I'm like I'm waiting for it because, and I don't know if Paolo's still trying to work his way back because I know he still missed some time last year. I don't know if that's the case. But especially last year, the way that he started off at an MVP level, I was hoping to see the same this year. And Desmond Bane being added for your 3-point shooting, I thought they would start, being lights out on offense and, being one of the better teams. They had a slow start.
Yeah.
Slow start. But it is what it is. But obviously you still got to use those specs. How the hell is OKC looking better and they're not even at full strength?
Yeah, no, they could be the team to repeat as champions. I think that I said this last year after they won the championship that there's a good chance without a crazy amount of injuries, they could end up being like the dynasty. They're already kind of being treated like it, right? Like, in addition to having all like the crazy wins and everything and being so loaded, like people already hate them like a dynasty. You know, like it's I think there's a good chance that OKC ends up winning out of the West again. And that's saying a lot because there are a lot of really good teams in the West. But they're the favorite to win it again, I think, fairly universally. And yeah, like even with J-Dub missing time and like their other injuries, they're so talented and they're a deep team. And SGA putting up 30-point games when he is missing fourth quarters, like that's crazy. And he's doing that regularly.
Yeah. You're doing this shorthanded. SGA pretty much saying I'm gonna take the fourth quarter off, chill on the bench, and just you're dominate. Like this is
if he played the fourth quarter, like mathematically, he'd be averaging like 50 to 55, which is insane.
Fair. It's not even fair. Not even fair. Last topic, and we'll move on to NFL because I know we got a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
What are the Memphis Grizzlies doing with John Moran? What are we doing?
So
what are we doing?
There's a lot of the discourse on Ja has been very interesting, and for a player of his name value and his production, not his production, that's not the right word. His name value versus his actual value is very disproportionate because he obviously doesn't want to be there anymore. He's pissed at coaching. He's pissed at the lack of minutes he's been getting, but he also hasn't earned those minutes. He's been playing like shit. And the question is, who is willing to trade what would probably be a couple good bench players plus some picks, some grouping of that, for a small guard who can't shoot and who finds his way off of the court all the time for avoidable foolishness? Someone you can't rely on to be there, and even when he's there, he's a small guard that can't shoot, and he's been playing like shit this year. Why would anybody trade for him? There really just isn't. From as good a player as he is, he doesn't really fit anywhere, and the goodness of him as a player is just not worth what comes along with it.
Okay. I'm the reason why I'm having this conversation is because I see where you're coming from, and I've seen it on the other side. Me personally, he is box office. So your point of his value when it comes to ticket sales, popularity, yes, that's there. You're 100%. Now, when you're talking about the actual value, when it comes to the basketball part, he's had his moments in Memphis, and then we get, half-ass, and then sometimes we get nothing at all. Right now, we're getting nothing at all. Look, do I think he still has value, like trade value? Yes. Was it as high as it was a couple of years ago? No. I just thought it was never going to happen in Memphis. I thought maybe he'd be there 3-4 years, and then he'll bust his way out of there. That's what I thought would have happened. He took the money, of course. I mean, yeah,
as you would.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for that. Especially first big contract, and of course you take it.
Yeah.
And the first one you get is a max. Yeah, you take it. So so I don't blame him for that. If he can, I'm more on the durability part of him that I'm more And I guess it does speak to the overall availability. You know, if you're taking into the factors that you had laid out there, you know, obviously avoidable. Yes, bar none. I mean, literally, you don't need too many brain cells to really avoid those situations that he got himself into.
Especially more than once. Like it's not even like he like did something dumb once. He did the same dumb thing several times.
Yeah,
Knowing what happened the first time.
well, and
And I don't even think that what he did was that big a deal. I think that it was overblown. But if you know that's what's going to happen, don't keep doing it.
and that's my bigger point is you know what Adam Silver is going to react to it, how they're looking at it from an image thing as a you know, you can't be a what's that detriment
Yeah.
to the league. So that's just what I mean. Come on. So yes, it was foolish. I'm hoping that he can mature, and I think that's all he really needs is just maturity. And that's all it is. Say honestly, I think Miami would be the best spot for him.
Do you think Miami wants him?
I would give up Tyler Hero in a heartbeat for John Morant. In a heartbeat, you can have Tyler Hero in a heartbeat for John Morant. Take him off, please. And yes, I do agree with you. God needs to get a jumper. I've been screaming it to the heavens since he got into the league because I saw like he wants to jump over everybody, and you can't jump over everybody, and you always falling, and you always are putting your wrist and your knees and your ankles at risk, and it's been happening. And compile that with your foolish actions. So yes, you are so 1,000% right on your analysis. But Randy, if I get him to Miami, I'm telling you, if he can't make it there or get right there, he can't get right in any league, not in the NBA, because
I get why you're saying that because of Spoelstra. You're just like Spoelstra's going to whip him into shape. I understand all of that.
Get the best out of him.
But the question is would a coach like Spoelstra be like, let me take my decent core of players in a very weak East that I know I could probably make a low seed in the playoffs with, and let me blow it up for a small guard who can't shoot.
I'm not blowing it up. I'm just giving away Tyler Hero.
That's maybe like a 1-for-1 trade, maybe. I don't know. I actually have only been watching. I only saw a couple of Heat games when they played the Knicks. Obviously, what are Tyler Hero's stats this year?
I know. I'm just never been a fan of Tyler Hero. I've just never been, and I guess that's the hater in me. Okay, I'll take it. I'll eat it. Whatever. But
He's scoring. What is it about? Right. Okay. 24 points per game on 66% efficiency.
That's not pretty nice.
That's pretty. He has not made a 3-point this entire year, but
he's
pretty good.
Great shooter though.
Yeah, no, he's not a bad shooter. I don't know why those 3-point numbers are what they are. Yeah, I mean, like the year before he was at 37% from three. The year before that he was at almost 40, and this year he hasn't shot a single 3-pointer. That's weird. But I don't know. I don't agree. I don't think I would take Ja for Hero. At least Hero's going to be there, right? Like Hero will be there. He'll be able to produce. He can space. Like, and that's one of the biggest issues with the Grizzlies right now. They got rid of their by far best shooter. Their spacing is also horrible right now. You're going to take your best shooter and give them to Memphis and take their non-shooting small guard who's going to foolishness his way off of the court.
Hey man, I'm telling you, I don't know. There's certain changes of scenery can probably bring the best out of an individual that we know that was there, and it gets capped. But
Mhm.
some of it's to his own detriment. Some he can't control because of the injuries. But it. I just always felt for him if he gets the mid range, he can extend not only his career, but he would be damn near talked like it. And at some point, I know he was getting some buzz, is talked about as one of the best players in the league, and rightfully so. Because, in I'm just saying, if he gets the mid range, why couldn't he not be talked about like Shea? Why could he not?
He's not the defender that Shea is.
That's
He's
fair. That's fair.
not the playmaker.
That's fair.
Shea can Shea can shoot from the mid range and from three.
I hear that, but Luke is going to get MVP votes, but he's not going to be your best defender. And trust me, I hear what you're saying because I value defense, and so I do love an absolute dog at 2A. Love it, but in this league, if you sell the tickets, sell the jerseys, score a lot, sprinkle some assist in there, little rebound, cop a steal or two. You the man.
I mean, he would sell tickets in Miami if it's entirely a will he sell tickets decision. I agree with that. I don't know how useful he is as a basketball player right now, and I don't think that's like a ceiling. I think that's just right at this moment. I think that could a coach like Spoelstra take him, make him do his chores and eat his vegetables, and and make him practice his jumper until his hands bleed, and eventually get him there? Sure, that could happen.
Absolutely.
That's a lot to hope happens, and to trade away right now what's your best offensive player to get him.
And I don't hate your argument. I'm just again, and I might be on my Buck Nasty tip tonight. I've just never been a fan of Tyler Hero.
Okay. I mean, I get it. I don't think that he's a star. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a star.
I just thought he was an overrated role player, and just to talk around him and always like, oh man, he's and I'm like, are we just sitting here just acting like Jimmy Butler's a scrub? Like, and then he moves on, and then I'm like, are we forgetting? Like, I mean, Bam ain't the greatest, but Bam ain't no scrub. Like, what do we?
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I think Bam is the best overall player on the team right now.
Yeah.
Hero did elevate and hold his own after Butler left to get them further than they should have gotten, though, right? Like, Bam's the better overall player, but Hero is their best offensive player specifically. And
that's fair.
I don't know. I think that Hero is a good player. I do think they should find a way to add a star to that team, because I do think they're lacking a star.
Yeah.
At least an offensive star.
And that's odd. We've always seen some type of star quality, or because I think Jimmy at that point in time in his career in Miami was a star.
Jimmy's a star for sure.
But let's get to the gusto, man. I made you wait long enough. Give me the analysis of your Knicks over the first 16 games that they played in the season.
So a lot of things are noticeably different, and since getting Mike Brown, we've been using the bench much more, and I think that that's a really good thing. Landry fucking Shamet has been lighting shit up, and that was just untapped potential by Thibodeau. He didn't even look at the man. He didn't want to ever put a ball in that man's hand. He was like, "Your job is to sit there and get me Gatorade." There was a very good player.
Toronto.
Yeah, there was a very good player sitting right there, and that's crazy to me.
That's absolutely nuts, bro.
The difference in points coming off of the bench it's been like more than tripled, I think. The points coming off of the bench between Tibbs and Mike Brown, and I love that, especially considering the injuries we've had. Right, like we lose Brunson for some time, we lose OG for some time, and I love that we have people who can step up, who are actually being used, who are actually getting time on the court, because that's the whole point of having them. Like, that's why they're there. And why won't you use them, Tibbs? And so I love that Mike Brown's been doing that. I think that's been a huge step up in that regard. Mikal Bridges, shout out to him, having an all-defensive season, averaging 2 steals. The only player in the NBA that's averaging 2 steals and over a block a game. And he's doing that as a skinny forward. Actually, no, he's playing the 2 right now. He's doing that as in the depth chart, a shooting guard. That's pretty crazy. So, I love that from him. I think he's been good. I think Cat started the season off shaky, started the season off slow, and he, in the past couple of weeks, really turned it around, especially after Brunson got hurt, really showing like, I can be the lead superstar in this team when Captain Brunson is out. And he's been doing his thing. He's been dropping 30 pieces like it's nothing. He's been making everything from 3. I think that's crazy. I really like what I'm seeing. I expected them to be more dominant in the East than they've been. I am surprised that they're not higher in the standings. Some of that's injuries. Some of that's the inconsistency that just kind of happens. Some of that's the dreaded third quarter that comes along with being a Knicks fan, where things just happen that weren't supposed to happen and that were not happening in the first 2 quarters. And then the Knicks have to find their way out of that. And that hasn't gone away. And I would love for that to go away. I can only take so much heart medication. But I think that I like what I'm seeing from the Knicks. I think that they're at full health, and even maybe not completely full health, still one of the best teams in the East, easily. They're the most proven playoff team in the East right now. Things are looking good. Things are looking up.
Hey, just imagine the things you can find if you just, oh man, clean out the attic sometimes. Like, man, I forgot I had that.
It's like, oh shit, I had a Landry Shaman just sitting around.
Oh, damn. Man. Yeah, get the dust off that thing real quick, Just imagine when the more grandmas forget that they. Never mind. Let me chill out. No, we'll see how the NBA season goes. For both our teams, solid start for the Lakers. Not so bad start for the Knicks. Despite losing a very important key component to what it can either be the success or failure of their team. So,
yep.
Anybody else that's kind of sticking out to you that's like they might do something, they might not. Yeah.
Another team that I'm kind of surprised by. I'm gonna say kind of surprised by, because they have a guy on the team that, he's that guy. The Bucks. I expected to be worse. Everyone kind of expected them to be worse because of how little help Giannis has. But Giannis is having a damn near MVP caliber season carrying that team and also making them better. Like the way that he's made with his playmaking has made the players around him better. Ryan Rollins, who I discovered because he was torching my Knicks, and I was like, who is this?
Who's this guy?
Who the fuck is you, bro? And, like,
What is this?
yeah, whose man's is this? It was Giannis's man's. The way that he's been making the players around him better, like, you know, I really think that, especially in such a depleted East, if they did something, that would be one of the greatest single individual player accomplishments. Even if they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not betting on them to do it. But if Giannis were to bring that team to the Eastern Conference Finals, that would be one of the greatest individual seasons of any basketball player ever. Basically just doing that shit on his own. And that's crazy.
The carry job he would have to do for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about it. If we think about matchups in the East, you know, who's the team that's going to absolutely blow them out, even with full mega Giannis? I mean, you know, my Knicks are obviously a better team overall, but there aren't a lot of teams in the East where it's just like Giannis ain't getting past them. There's no way, no matter how good Giannis plays, he's getting past that team. Like, right now, the Pistons are at the top. Do I think that they're stopping full Giannis in the playoffs? I might bet on the Bucks in that series. And the Pistons right now would be the 1 seed. You know, the Raptors aren't, you know, as surprisingly good as they've been, they're not stopping Giannis.
Nah.
Yeah, right. Like, if we just went down like the NBA Eastern Conference right now, the Bulls, they're not doing that. You know, the Heat. Oh, yeah, the Heat, they're not doing that. Cavaliers might at full strength.
At full strength. Wait,
Yeah.
when's the last time you seen a full string Cavaliers team? You tell me that.
No, that's true. I mean, it's true, but with Donovan Mitchell playing as well as he's been playing, the great defensive duo of Mobley and Allen, like, if any duo is able to stop Giannis in the paint, Mobley and Allen could be the duo to do that. The team is overall better as long as the injuries aren't crazy. And you know, so I'm still holding to my take that the Knicks and Cavs are going to be the Eastern Conference Finals. I have not moved away from that, but those are the only 2 teams that I strongly think, despite the Bucks being a 10-loss team right now, with a losing record, if they make their way into the playoffs, the only teams that would be willing to bet would be able to stop Giannis would be the Knicks and the Cavs. So, yeah, very surprising. I think they could do something.
Okay. All right.
Could.
Could.
I think they could.
Like I said, hand that man the MVP trophy if he gets him into the playoffs, and especially if he gets into a deep run.
Yeah, if he gets up a decently high seed, then it would be hard not to give him MVP based off the literal wording of MVP, right? I mean, you know, Wemby was on that pace, then he got hurt.
Yeah,
Luka still in the race for that. Jokic is always Jokic. Fuck, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that. 55 points on 78% shooting.
he's ridiculous, dog.
Over multiple games. He's averaging a triple-double right now. Like, okay, so we can't start talking about MVP candidates without talking about Jokic, bro. Like, that's nuts. I've never seen 78% over multiple games at that volume before. That's crazy.
Like, to me, this would be the real example if there's a such thing as voters fatigue, because he's just been just so damn good, and part of that whole conversation in a repetitive, nauseating amount of years now, and he's won some. So, but it's like you can't ignore that shit, bro.
You know what's really like crazy when you think about the 3 MVPs is that out of the past 5 years, the only 2 MVPs he didn't win, he came in second. That's how dominant he's been. He has lost to only Embiid and Shea. Embiid was that whole Kendrick Perkins situation at the very last minute, and then Shea had to, Shea had to do everything that he did last year as the scoring leader and the best point differential ever and the 1 seed. Like that's what it took to beat Jokic last year.
Exactly, historical shit to like overtake Jokic. That's crazy. Like put that in perspective, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because I remember me and you having this conversation a few weeks ago. That's why you just throw your hands up. You're like, how, like you look at this dude. Like, there ain't no way, bro. Like
and personally, I hate voter fatigue. Like, if this guy's really the most valuable player, give it to him.
The most valuable,
yeah. Don't give me the like participation trophy. Like, oh, but it's his turn. This Hillary Clinton, it's her turn type shit. Like, nah, give it to the one who deserves it. And if that's Jokic 10 years in a row, it's Jokic 10 years in a row. I probably, yeah, like there are so many great players, but if whoever deserves it that year gets it, that's it.
But again, we talk about value, and I guess the writers who get the vote on it, that they value what is value in that word MVP, what that means. So
yeah.
But let's get to some other stuff that happened in the world of sports. Obviously, we've had our talks about the man in Cleveland got his first start, went down to Vegas. Let's talk about how did you feel about Shador's performance?
Okay, so when I couldn't be on the show last week, that was the thing that I was like, I would like to have talked about this. And so now we're going to get to. And I have a lot of thoughts on the whole Shador thing, as everyone does, as lots of people do. If I had been on last week, I would have given the enlightened centrist take, which would have been she was objectively awful last week. Objectively awful. He had a passer rating of 13. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Now, there were lots of people who wanted him to fail, who still want him to fail, and who jumped on that and is like, that's who Shador is, period. We've seen enough.
Goofy ass.
Yeah, exactly. Which is goofy, which is ridiculous. Now, there have also been a lot of people at that time were like, it's not fair. He was screwed. He was sabotaged. The team was working against him because he wasn't getting first team reps. Now, I think that's the straw man of that argument. Some people were genuinely making that argument, and I don't think it's a very good one, because it is not abnormal for, if you have a rookie quarterback who is going to become the starter, or who already is the starter, and you need to give him as many reps as possible, especially if he's a project like Gabriel was, to give him all the first team reps he can get. That's the bad version of the argument. The good version of the argument is, we knew that he shouldn't have been. And we knew that from the beginning. It was obvious to everybody.
Only the Browns valued him in the third round.
Nope. Yes. It was very obvious from the beginning that Shador was the better prospect. Nobody genuinely believes that, for football reasons, Gabriel was a better prospect than Shador. We know what and everyone defers just like, well, he's a 5th round pick, but we know that he shouldn't have been. We know that at worst he should have been QB3. Now, Jackson Dart has been the best quarterback of any of the rookies, and I'm not saying that as a homer. He has been, but you could argue that the order was already kind of skewed because people weren't looking at Jackson Dart as a 1st round pick until like a few weeks before the draft, maybe a month, mostly out of desperation. It was a race between Ward and Shedeur as a 2-man race up until like a month before the draft. Yeah. So you can argue they also underdrafted Dart. That Dart should have in a redraft, Dart would be QB1. But and also Ward, which is also not entirely his fault, but he has also not been good this year.
I was worried about his mental getting drained and being in a losing ass, facility with all that losing mojo in there, and I'm like, it's gonna start messing with his mental. He'll start making mistakes, and he's been making some goofy mistakes too. So
he's been making some goofy mistakes. He doesn't have a lot of help, but he has also individually not been good. But if you're looking at them as prospects,
he's still scrapping though.
Yeah, but if you're looking at them as prospects, it was very obvious that Shedeur was at worst the 3rd best prospect of all of the quarterbacks. He should have been getting 1st team reps this whole time because he should have been drafted before Dillon Gabriel. That's the good version of the argument, and that's obviously correct.
Well, here's another part. I get it. Most backups are going to get little to no reps with the 1st team. But here's my thing. You're one play away from losing your starter. And let's also be honest about this situation, man. It hold precedent. You held precedent because there were murmurs and reporters that leaked this out that he was getting 1st team reps when they still had Flacco on the roster.
But they knew that he was going to replace Flacco. So that does make some sense. Yes, I think it would have been better if they had really treated this like a competition instead of just handing it to Gabriel. And that would have avoided a lot of this. If
they want to do that.
Like, okay, they've made the mistake of drafting Gabriel first. That being said, they have them both now. Had they made it a real competition between the two of them, I don't think there's a world where Shedeur would have lost that competition. And if Shedeur had won that competition, and we both know he would have, then he would have been getting 1st team reps, and then maybe last week wouldn't have happened.
Let me ask you this though, real quick. It just popped into my head. What happens if Cleveland goes on a roll? Because we already know that their defense is good, all right, and one of the best in the league. And Shedeur adds something to the offense. They get going. What if he ends up saving Kevin Stefanski's job?
He might. And that's
the irony in that shit right there.
He might. And I think that's very ironic because Stefanski, I mean, up until recently, up until now, has clearly not liked Shedeur as the starter of the team.
He can't beat the allegations after that post speech.
Right. Yeah, no. The way he looked in the draft, although, there were there were videos of them after Quinshon Judkins looking kind of similar or whatever, but like the fact that they took 2 quarterbacks, it was very clear that wasn't in the plan. And then the way that they've handled all of this, it has looked a lot like Stefanski did not want to give him the starting job. And I still don't believe, and I don't really believe that anybody genuinely believes that it's because he thought Dillon Gabriel was the better football player. I don't think that he thought that. I don't think that anybody thought that. I think it's very obvious why, and it's because of all the stuff that quote unquote comes with Shedeur. Now, Shedeur gets his first real start with any preparation at all. He gets a week of preparation, a lot less than Gabriel ever had. He looked good. He looked good. He's clearly the best quarterback the Browns have had this season in that start. Did he make mistakes? Yes.
Yeah.
He had that bad pick in coverage. He had some other missed throws, but he has 3 of the top 4 highest air yard completions of any Browns quarterback this season, and he's played a full game and like a quarter and a half. And that's because Flacco was leading the league in interceptions at one point, and like Dylan Gabriel couldn't throw the ball downfield. He was playing scared the whole time.
Yeah. Because he
and
can't see, man. He can't see over the damn line of scrimmage, man.
Bro, he can't. He had the worst EPA per play of any quarterback in the NFL through his starts. He was a bad quarterback. And before anybody says, like, well, it was the Raiders, Gabriel lost to the actively tanking one-win Jets after they had just traded their two best defenders, and they had basically nobody on defense. They had lost DJ Reed earlier in the season. They lost Sauce Gardner. They lost Quinnen Williams. They were actively trying to get the highest draft picks possible, and they still beat Dylan Gabriel. So if we're just comparing him to other Browns quarterbacks this year, I don't want to hear it. Shador had some great throws. His stat line is a thing that people are pointing to, like, well, he only had a 55% completion percentage, only 11 completions, only one passing touchdown, one interception. But if you actually watch the game, the bomb he threw to Isaiah Bond, which put them at the 2-yard line, that Quinshon Judkins then ran in wildcat formation for the touchdown, doesn't go on Shador's stat line. Yes, he had the screen pass to make the touchdown that did show up to Dylan that he ran through, but that at least evens out in terms of credit for the score. He would have had another one if Jerry Jeudy not just forgot where he was for that moment and let Jeremy Chin punch the ball out for that weird fumble. But he was on his way to, after a really impressive pass, to get the touchdown there. Shador very easily, through no fault of his own, could have had 3 passing touchdowns on the stat sheet.
Yeah. Look, obviously, I'm a pro Shador fan, but I thought he played solid. It wasn't perfect. There's obviously he had mentioned there's some things that he still got to work on, and he said the right things. And I'm just of the mindset that give him more time with the ones, he'll start getting that connection. I'm loving the connection him and Harold Fannin are starting to get going.
Yeah, I really liked that pick coming out of the draft. I like Harold Fannin, and he's shown it.
Love Harold Fannin. So he can start probably getting some things cooking with Shador down the stretch. Look, give him time. I know there's still going to be people that's going to be the haters that want to see him fail, and that's fine. And you ain't got to like Shador for whatever non-football reasons that is. Whatever, cool. But we can't say that the guy can't play no football, bro. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So and yeah, no, of course he wasn't perfect. Obviously, the team he was playing wasn't a good team, and his loaded defense did a lot of the work. But he did his job, and he did it well. And he was clearly better than both Flacco while he played for the Browns and Dylan Gabriel. But now, the interesting question with Shador is, so he was just given another start. He's starting next week. If he plays at about the level he played on Sunday or better for the rest of the season, the draft is going to be really interesting for the Browns, because they have 2 first-round picks because they traded down with the Jaguars so they could get Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. And what was obviously the expectation, probably the plan from their perspective, was, we're going to take some project quarterbacks now and see what happens, but we want to make sure that we can get a quarterback by any means necessary next year who we expect to be our franchise guy. If Shador Sanders, who's currently being paid 5th round rookie money, is your quarterback and he's good,
you got to build the rest of the team.
And you already have an elite defense and 2 really good running backs. So if you can create a system around Shador with just good receivers and a good offensive line, and Shador ends up being good. Shador doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes. Shador's never going to be Patrick Mahomes. Shador's never going to be Josh Allen. Shador's never going to be Lamar Jackson. He just doesn't have the traits for those guys. But if he can be Jordan Love, if he could be Bo Nix, if he could be a top 15 to 18 quarterback with that defense and that running game, and if you put good pieces around him, I think that's enough. I think you could be a good team.
Wild card, at least the floor wild card.
Yeah, I think so, and potentially more as Shador gets better and better. But I really think because they, obviously they fucked themselves so much with the Deshaun situation. If their quarterback who is good ends up being that cheap, that might really offset some of the damage that they did with that Deshaun trade, the Deshaun contract. So, 2 first-round picks, they don't have to use them to go get a quarterback. They can use them for a tackle and a receiver.
You gotta build that tackle, that line. And yeah. I'm with you. That's to me, that's the obvious thing. But hey, the irony if some things that can happen if he gets that team rolling, get that offense rolling. I'm just saying. Just saying. Obviously, you're a Giants fan, so obviously you know about these two teams. What did you think about that Giants Cowboys game? Kind of give me your thoughts on both teams coming out of that game.
So the Eagles Cowboys, I'm actually was not that surprised. In fact, I predicted the Cowboys were going to win. And the reason why I predicted that they were going to win was when the first time they played against each other, they almost did win. And the only reason they didn't win is because CD had like 3 uncharacteristic drops.
Yeah.
If he had caught like even one of those multiple drops that he had, the Cowboys win that game. And now the Cowboys defense was putrid when they played that game. They've since added Quinnen Williams to it. Ezaraku has started to become one of the better rookie edge rushers. The defense now looks better. Not good yet, but better. I mean, that just made the difference. The Eagles are a very shaky team. The Cowboys were almost as good as them with a horrible defense. You take that and you make it just a slightly below average defense. CD doesn't have those crazy drops. That fills the gap. And so I actually was not that surprised that they won, but I think it does show also that the Eagles might be a little fraudulent. Yeah, they might be a little fraudulent.
Say it ain't so.
Which almost every team in the NFL is fraudulent this year, but they've been pretty fraudulent.
It's a lot of parity this year. I don't know what you counted to, but it's kind of, especially in the AFC, is like the upside down world. The teams that kind of been trying to work their way up are at the top, and the teams that have been up top are on the other side. So it's kind of weird. But
my take from this season is there is one actually good team in the entire NFL, and every other team is in. There's one good team. There are 4 to 5 bad teams.
Okay.
Every other team is in this kind of weird, nebulous, they could be anything any week section.
I like how you segue into that because I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I know you posted it in the on the Facebook page. But if I was to tell you, give me 10 teams as your top 10 power rankings. I'm putting you on the spot. Give me your 10 teams power rankings going from 10, obviously, and then 1 being your best.
Okay. So we want me to start from 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn.
If you want to start from 1, so if you want to start one being the best team and then go down, then by all means go.
That's much easier. One is the Rams.
Okay.
They're the only actually good team in the NFL.
I'm just making and now if you said somebody else besides them at number one, we're gonna have to have a conversation. I was gonna be like, well, Randy, you're gonna have to explain that to me. But okay, all right. So we don't have to have that discussion right here. All right, number two.
Number two, I'm gonna. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say this Seahawks.
Really?
And the reason why I'm saying the Seahawks is the defense is great. JSN is having one of the best seasons any wide receiver's ever had. Sam Darnold has been kind of shoddy the past couple of weeks. So, but before that, he was playing incredibly. So you have two sides of the ball that are as good as those two sides of the ball. And I think you have a good team there. If Sam Darnold could just not melt down, I think you're good.
So wait, before okay.
I know, and that's the issue, right? Like every team other than the Rams has that, but there's this problem. Like
there's a team in New England that would like to have a conversation with you at their number two right now, Randy.
And they also have one of those, but there's this, which is that they've played in a cupcake schedule.
Oh,
they've beaten. The only team they've beaten is the Bills, and Davis Mills just beat the Bills this past week. Atlanta beat the Bills. The Miami beat the Bills. Like beating the Bills doesn't necessarily mean anything right now. So I don't even know what to say about them. The Broncos are also a super high seed right now, and I don't really trust Bo Nix, but I would put the Broncos over the Patriots because the crazy defense and because they have beaten serious teams.
Look, hey, this is why we had these. All right, so Seahawks at 2, number 3,
the Bears. I'm going there. I am going there.
What?
I'm going to say the Bears. They are currently leading their division, which is one of the tougher divisions in the NFL.
Is wow, you're drinking the Bears Kool-Aid right now?
I'm drinking.
Wait, you're not even going to wait to see what Caleb does against the Eagles defense on Friday? You're not going to wait?
Oh, well, I mean, I will move them down if he looks horrible against that defense, and you can also make the Bears also have that same criticism of like, well, who have they beaten though? And that's true. But they play in a much more competitive division than the Patriots do. I think that Drake May has been individually better than Caleb Williams, but I don't know if that is anything. Like that could also be because he's been playing against much worse teams.
Man,
the Bears are the second best rushing offense in the NFL.
Until I clip this, Randy, people gonna try to come for your head, bro.
Oh, I'm sure they will. But the coaching has been outstanding.
Oh man,
I'm doing 10 toes down, but maybe one toe up, maybe 9 toes down.
He said that pinky toe slightly up a little bit. All right.
My next team is going to be the Patriots.
Patriots. Okay, you put them right there. Yeah, Drake May. He said I got something to tell you for that one, man.
Yeah, that again, individually, he's been better than Caleb Williams. He's been an MVP caliber quarterback this year. I just don't know how much I trust the rest of that offense. I guess that's also an issue with the Bears. It's the cupcake schedule. Like that's the biggest thing is what is any of this? I don't know if I buy this. You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be a coward. I'm flipping them. I'm putting the Patriots at 3 because the more that I think about it, there's like, well, I don't know how much I could justify this. So Patriots are at 3. I'm retconning it. Bears are at 4. Broncos are at 5.
Okay.
I
I think you're basing that one strictly on Bo.
Well, the defense is elite. You know, the defense has been great even without Pat Surtain.
I was about to say that too. They
Yeah.
did even a good job without the best corner in the league.
And even though Bo Nix has been shaky, he has led the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks. So he's shown he can get it done. And that's enough. Maybe that's enough. 6, I'm gonna say the Eagles. I kind of have to. They have the pedigree. Their defense is great.
That defense is nasty, bro.
Yeah. I feel like the Eagles and the Broncos are very similar in that they win, but they win in ways where you look at it and you're just like, I don't buy that. Like, what was that? Like, no, that's not sustainable. And like the Bears, Broncos, and Eagles are all kind of like that. So I actually think it makes the most sense for them to be lined up 1, 2, and 3. And they've played better. The Eagles have played better competition.
That's fair.
Than the at least the Bears. Ah, shit. All right. Okay. I'm moving the Bears down 2.
Damn.
You didn't give me a chance to prepare this.
Exactly. That's why I'm doing this on purpose, because I get you in just your organic atmosphere, thought process of where you seeing these teams. That's all, you know.
Yes. Okay. So the Bears would be 6 now.
So you going Rams, Seahawks, Patriots, Broncos, Eagles, then Bears?
Eagles, Broncos. Eagles, all right, Eagles, Broncos.
Okay.
Okay. And then Bears. I gotta do the Chiefs next.
That's actually bold.
I know, but they are the Chiefs. And that's just kind of what it goes down to. Like in a lot of these situations, it's like, well, okay, but it's Patrick Mahomes, it's the Chiefs. They haven't played like they've played in the past, but they're still in it. They've lost to some weird teams, and Patrick Mahomes has been very streaky. He looked horrible against the Bills. He looked horrible against the Broncos.
Ugh.
He should have been able to beat the Jaguars. But it is also the regular season. They feel a lot like like the Spurs would be a good example, where it's just like, or the Jimmy Butler Heat.
I was about to say that's almost like Jimmy. He's like, I'm just gonna, mosey my way through the regular season until I turn the playoff Jimmy switch. So
right, which is, it's not good strategy, because then if you played like that the whole time, you could have a better seed.
It's terrible strategy. It's bad on my heart, bro. It's terrible.
Yes. I'm gonna say even the Chiefs have a worse record than the Bears do. Do I necessarily think they're worse than the Bears? No, but I think that the Bears have to be seated above them because they've won so much more. And Caleb has had that clutch gene. He has also had a bunch of fourth quarter comebacks. Okay.
Number 8. I'm surprised there's a team you haven't said that the Chiefs just beat. I'm actually surprised by that.
I'm gonna get to them.
Oh Lord, because you got the whole state of Indiana asking about your Addy, dog.
8 is going to be the Ravens. And they are now leading their own division, which, I think the reason why gonna put the Ravens here is because they don't have the win-loss record to justify going higher. But there have been reasons for that. First, it was injuries on the defense and Lamar having to do a carry job. Now it's been Lamar getting injured, coming back, not playing as well, and the defense doing the carry job.
Yeah.
If you can just get them both to be good at the same time, they should win the Super Bowl. And that's kind of the weird thing about this is, if you asked me which grouping of teams that I trust more to get to and win the Super Bowl, whether I trust my 3 through 6 or my 7 through 10, I would say my 7 through 10. But they just don't have the wins to justify being higher.
Fair.
So, but I'm gonna say that the Ravens have shown that they can have a crazy good offense and a crazy good defense. It's just a matter of them having it at the same time. Number 9. Ooh, okay. I do have an honorable mention. So I'm going to say my 9 and 10, but then I'm going to say my dark horse. And 9 is the Lions. And the Lions, kind of the same deal as the Ravens, where they've shown elite play. I mean, for a while, they were like the most dominant team in the NFL. And
yeah, that's fair. They had their moment.
Yeah, exactly. Jahmyr Gibbs has looked like one of the greatest. Jahmyr Gibbs has looked like Barry Sanders in some of these games. Like, legitimately, he's been that good. I know firsthand. And you know,
that was unfair, bro.
Yeah, no, that was. And you know, leave it to Shane Bowen. Leave it. No. I'm doing this. I'm going here. I'm kicking his ass on the way out. Leave it to Shane Bowen.
He's already gone, dog. He's gone, bro.
I'll bring him back just to kick him out again. Leave it to Shane Bowen to decide. You know what I should do for the most important stop of the game? I should take Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence and take them off of the field.
Oh my goodness.
And then when it does go into overtime, because you chose not to just kick it and take the points, let's do that, but again. And then Jahmyr Gibbs runs right where Dexter Lawrence would have been.
Oh, Lord.
Genius stuff right there. Yeah, let's take our best 2 defenders. Anyway, so the Lions, the Lions are just like a very loaded team. The offensive line has not been what it has been in the past. They've still been able to be good despite it, but they've lost some kind of weird games. They've lost a bunch of weird games, and a lot of that is probably just because there's injuries to the secondary. A lot of that's because the offensive line isn't what it's been. But they honestly probably shouldn't have been as close to losing as they were against my Giants. And that's kind of been the thing. They lost to the Vikings with what's probably now the worst quarterback in the NFL heading it.
Hey, yo. Damn, why JJ had to catch a stray, bro?
Well, because I do want to talk about that a little bit after this, but the Lions, so the Lions are weird and streaky, and I don't really know what to do with them. So that's why they're only at 9. 10 is the Bills, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like, well, they have Josh Allen, they have James Cook, and they don't really have anything else.
Well, they can simplify it, and my theory to fix the Bills is give James Cook the damn ball. Like, stop trying to make Josh Allen Superman. And the fact that they went into the offensive game plan on a Thursday night against one of the best and most athletic and ball hawking and dangerous and heavy hitting and all around nasty, disgusting defense that is the Houston Texans, and thought that was a solid game plan. It's for Josh Allen to try to play hero ball against that Super Bowl elite caliber defense was just damn negligence.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's
James Cook literally just cooked on the first possession, went straight down the field and got a touchdown, a 42-yard banger. What are you doing? Negligence. You should have been fired on the spot for that. OC Joe Burrow fired.
Yeah, that was crazy. That
was negligence, bro. I'm sorry. That was disgusting. If I'm a Bills fan, I'm raising hell about the offensive the game plan, because it's like Josh Allen can't be put in this position to play hero ball. You see what happens.
He doesn't have the receivers for it. That's a big part of it. Also, that's really under talked about.
The roster is not there.
He can't play hero ball. In part because of his own issues, and in part because he doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to. Khalil Shakir is not going to torch that defense.
Nobody's scared of Khalil Shakir. That's why he's still getting numbers, because nobody's scared.
Keon Coleman has been benched multiple times, and he was supposed to be their X receiver.
He's getting the healthy scratch. Disciplinary actions.
Yeah.
Their first round pick last year. Come on, bro.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's the Bills are really only 10 just because I know Josh Allen is good and I know James Cook is good, but they don't have the roster to really deserve it. And Josh Allen has not been playing like Josh Allen this year. Like he's been he's been playing like Josh Allen from several years ago. He's been turning over the ball like crazy.
Have you noticed the theme of when he struggles? The struggle is he is struggling mightily against the good defense. Even the good pass rush. It's the pass rush, most importantly. Because remember, Atlanta at that point in time had a top defense at that point in time, and they played them on their Monday night and was forcing turnovers. Houston, look at the other games that they lost. It's the pass rush. We got to get after that big boy and force him into the turnover, because he's going to give you one.
Yeah, and the pass defense too. Like if you can cover his guys well, and he has guys that are easy to cover. It's all small slots. You know, and I think that's another big part of it. Also, is his receivers, in addition to not being an elite group of receivers, because they're all slot guys. It's easy to mismatch them.
Man, I've been screaming it to the hills. I said, man, you can't let him continue to play that hero ball and think you're going to win a damn Super Bowl.
And also, because I've talked about this before, it is not all on the help. It's not. Josh Allen individually has also played nowhere near what you expect out of Josh Allen in a lot of these games. And I do think that we need to talk about that too. Because when Patrick Mahomes or when Lamar Jackson underperforms, it's them underperforming. When it's Josh Allen, it's the lack of help around him.
You know what people are going to hang their calling card on? They're going to call on that performance he had against the Buccaneers. Like, oh, that's MVP. Like, I'm like, bro, that man was doing some dumb turnover bullshit in the beginning of that game, and then he finally was like, oh, I'll start being a knucklehead and started playing better. And
and also that was sandwiched in between the loss he just had, where he threw a bunch of turnovers and looked like trash, and
6 touchdowns,
and him getting destroyed by the poverty Miami Dolphins the week prior. Like, he was sandwiched in between two horrible performances. So he's been very week to week, but so is Patrick Mahomes, so is Lamar Jackson.
I was about to ask you that. Is what's going on? And I think that's kind of why we're looking at this upside down in the AFC. Is you're looking at the old guard that's been there in continuous years, year after year after year. They're not looking so indestructible like they normally would. I mean, like you said, Lamar's been kind of shaky, had the injury. Josh Allen's not playing too great. Admittedly myself, there were some things in this past game, even with the Chiefs and the Colts, and maybe it's just because Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, always coaches up some good schemes against Patrick, even back when he was with Cincinnati. I guess that might have something to do with it too. But there were some times where I'm like, damn, Patrick's kind of playing a little timid. He's missing open receivers. He's overthrowing the deep shot, or he's overthrowing certain, and then and he'll kick it in the gear late in the season. So I
Yeah,
thought
I don't know what it is. It feels like a very weird coincidence that it just happens to all of the expected great teams are underperforming and a lot of the formerly poverty teams are overperforming. And a lot of the quarterbacks we didn't think anything of, like Sam Darnold and Bo Nix and Daniel Jones.
I'm not sold on Nix.
Well, I'm not either, but I'm just saying, like, the quarterbacks that are at the top right now are ones that nobody thought anything of, and the quarterbacks that are in this kind of like weird fighting for themselves every week situation are the ones that we expect to always be in the MVP hunt. I don't know what that is. I don't know. It may just be a very weird coincidence that seems to be happening to all of them at the same time. I don't know. But my dark horse team is the Houston Texans. That defense is so good.
Yeah,
It's an elite defense, a loaded defense. Everybody on it is incredible. You just can't do anything. You got Will Anderson. You got the most underrated player in the NFL, Danielle Hunter. You got great corners. You got safeties. You got just great scheming. The scheming is great. Just everything about that is loaded. If you can just get competent offensive play, they could be a really dangerous team to go against in the postseason when they take the AFC South. I really think so, and I think they are going to take the AFC South because we're seeing the team that's currently leading it, and the nanosecond that the Colts put themselves in a position where they have to go all in on Daniel Jones, all of a sudden Daniel Jones is just like, damn, thanks for the money. Thanks for the money. I'm gonna play like shit now. It's too late. You don't have first round picks for the next 2 years. It's too late. Looked like ass to the Steelers, and has looked like ass since.
Oh man, you've been waiting to get at Daniel.
Yes, I have. I said I've seen the script. I saw it in 2022. He is capable of going on streaks of good quarterback play, but it doesn't last because he's Daniel Jones. It was always Fugazi. Jonathan Taylor having an MVP season next to him and having a great offensive line has helped. It's helped cover for that. But he's still Daniel Jones. He warned y'all in week 3 against the Rams when he threw a bunch of turnovers. Hold on to your firsts, everyone. Don't give up your firsts unless you're looking to get a quarterback. Don't give it up for a corner, even a great one. It's just not worth it.
Don't do it. Obviously, we kind of mentioned it just a second ago, but we love talking about it. Quarterback play, man. Obviously, we talk about the big guns in the AFC kind of struggling this year. That's documented. But there's one quarterback that's still reminding y'all that, hey, man, I'm a bad monk. What is going on with Matthew freaking Stafford right now? This man is on one right now.
Oh, yeah. And I think that he is pretty undoubtedly the MVP favorite this year. And he should be. He's individually played incredibly. 30 touchdowns to 2 interceptions is insane.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah, that is insane. And there's also a little bit of the Lifetime Achievement Award bonus that he's going to get there too, never having gotten one, knowing that he's going to retire soon. He really does deserve it. He's been balling the fuck out. He's the quarterback of the only actually good team in the NFL. And yeah, I mean, there's just I don't know what else you say about it. He's been fucking awesome. right now, the MVP race is starting to narrow a bit. I think that right now it's between Matthew Stafford, Drake May, Jonathan Taylor, and JSN. If JSN breaks the Megatron record, I think that he enters that conversation too. Even if he doesn't, on the pace that he's been on, I think that he should be in that conversation too. If we're going to talk about Jonathan Taylor, and we should, being there, I don't see why JSN also shouldn't. He's been the best player on one of the best teams in the NFL.
No. I think you would be foolish, and I couldn't take your NFL acumen with credibility if you didn't say JSN hasn't played at MVP level, because he has.
Yeah. He's already in 11 games. He already broke the Steve Largent receiving yard record for the Seahawks in 11 games. Like, that's crazy. And considering that, like, Sam Darnold wasn't really like a proven elevator, like, you could argue, and like we saw this with the Vikings receiving core with Sam Darnold last year. You could argue that JSN's been a huge part of elevating Sam Darnold rather than the other way around. Yeah, I mean, like, he's always open. It makes such an easy target to throw to. That's why he has the biggest percentage of yards for. Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Of any player to individually have a specific percentage of yards for their team's offense, he holds the biggest percentage of any receiver for their team for their yardage. So he has been the engine of their offense more than any other player, more than any other receiver by far. And yeah, I think those four are the four that you talk about when you talk about the MVP race right now.
I'm totally fine with that too. I would have no arguments with that. With Drake May, Matthew, JSN, and Jonathan Taylor. And I'm not, look, when the Chiefs want to stop the run, they will. So I'm not going to take his performance this past Sunday against them. I mean,
the one game where he doesn't look like a star. Yeah, it's like you know, Jonathan Taylor has been so you can't knock him for like the one game he doesn't look ridiculous.
So any other game this year he's been having defenses scared of shit. So I'm not that past you.
Now, so because I brought up the Vikings before, so I wanted to talk about this since we also talked about the Browns and their QB situation, and we brought up JJ McCarthy, and we're talking about quarterback play.
Yeah,
the draft for quarterbacks is going to be interesting. Who do you think are the teams that are going to end up looking for a quarterback in the draft? Because the quarterback situations for a lot of teams have been interesting.
I still say the Dolphins, but I'm leaning not toward that because Stephen Ross loves Mike McDaniel and he loves Tua. He loves both of them. Okay. Despite the concussion situation, which is crazy. I still think you need a backup plan, but whatever. I don't think you got the answer in New Orleans. I don't think you got your quarterback in New Orleans.
No.
Raiders. You got to look at Raiders. There's no way you can keep going with and thinking that's a good situation. Trust me, Chip Kelly is he was part of the problem, but he's not all of the problem. He's not all of it. Those two teams for sure. I would say the Jaguars, but they already contractually just stuck in purgatory with that contract with Trevor. They just gave him about a couple of years ago. So I can't say them, even though they should. Obviously, the Steelers still have to go look if this is Aaron Rodgers' last year or not. You still got to go look. And Minnesota. And JJ's not it.
No, and okay, so that's where I wanted to kind of go with this. So
I will also watch out in Arizona.
yeah, so the teams that are definite, I don't want to say definitely because teams are kind of weird with their decision making when it comes to quarterbacks sometimes, but like
Oh,
the obvious teams to look for drafting a quarterback would be the Jets, the
yeah.
the Jets, the Raiders, the Saints, uh, the Vikings, and the Steelers. And then the teams that need another quarterback but are in weird contractual situations that make it difficult would be the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Because both of them still have guaranteed contracts that are multi-year, and cutting them would be really bad for their cap. I also do think that, I mean, maybe we're done with Kyler, but Tua has demonstrated the ability to have very good quarterback play with a really good situation, and he's in a really bad situation. Whatever you think about that, I'm not saying they shouldn't move off of Tua. I'm saying that the situation around him has been very bad, and he had, like, only a couple years ago he had one of the greatest offenses ever, and he was leading the league in yards. Whatever you think of that, with everything, they should eventually look to move off from him, but I don't think they're able to anytime soon. I agree with the Jaguars. I think the Trevor Lawrence experiment is over, but they have him locked up, so they're not looking for it. The Browns would have been the other one, but if Shador works out, they shouldn't be. The conversation around getting quarterbacks has always been kind of confusing to me, because if you look at, do you remember last year when everyone was saying this is such a horrible rookie class for quarterbacks? It's just a two-man race, and then that turned into a one-man race where Ward was the only good one and all of that, and everyone was saying, wait till next year. Next year is a loaded QB draft class. All these teams should wait. And Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller were expected to be first-round picks, and now none of them are. Now all of them are expected to be backups.
And because I've been watching my fair share of college football, ain't too much. I mean, somebody's gonna take a flyer on that guy Mendoza out of Indiana. But I mean, I'm kind of the quarterback plays kind of
Yeah, and this was touted as like an elite quarterback class last year, and now this one's also a weak quarterback class.
Yeah,
Mendoza has looked really good. Dante Moore has looked really good. Ty Simpson has looked really good, but outside of those three now, like, nobody wants to touch anybody else. Dante Moore might even go back to school. He might stay in Oregon, and Ty doesn't have that many starts, so you have to kind of worry, like, if he's ready. And then there's guys like Jaden Maivia and Brendan Sorsby who have been really good, but nobody is even looking at them that high. So it's a weird situation. If you're a team like the Vikings or the Steelers, who are not going to be drafting in the top 10, but you need a quarterback, what do you do?
And you might have to stretch that a year out then. Try to find the best veteran quarterback you can. And to be honest, it sounds weird. Jameis Winston seems like a Pittsburgh Steeler.
I think he could be. I think that would be fun. But aren't you just kind of kicking the can down the road then?
Of course.
And isn't that what the Steelers have been doing since Big Ben left?
But they have to, because the fact of the matter is they even spend a shit ton of money on their defense for that product is ridiculous. So you gotta fix that. And especially if Mike Tomlin stays on, he likes his veteran quarterbacks, and I can see him kind of trying to get a little last bit of Jameis Winston magic, and they can reconvene and kick the can one more year. Because I don't know if this is Aaron's last year or not, but obviously he's showing the injury problem right now. So he's already missed one game. So it's I don't know what you really do. Because I'm not thrilled about none of these quarterbacks coming out.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. And so the Jets, Saints, and Raiders.
What's your other option? Kirk Cousins?
That's kind of where I'm going. The Jets, Saints, and Raiders all should take a quarterback. One of those three quarterbacks we mentioned, if they're all there, should go to one of those three teams.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams have 2 firsts, with Stafford is leaving at some point soon, and they may make a move for one of those quarterbacks. If they are willing to trade up, which I think would be a good idea for them to do. They're a team with the infrastructure to take a quarterback. You have Sean McVay, you have Stafford to sit behind, you have Puka and Devontae Adams to throw to. If you're looking for a place to develop a quarterback, that's a really good place to do it, and they have the 2 firsts to trade up for. And then so that leaves the Vikings and the Steelers especially in that limbo where they may just have to suck it up and take a swing on a quarterback in the draft and see if they can do anything with it. The Steelers have just been in purgatory for quarterbacks forever. It's not. I don't think they're getting one next year either, because they're going to be 9-8 again.
Kenny Pickett fucked that up for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like they refuse to tank, and that's kind of what they need right now. Then the Vikings. So I mentioned this before. JJ McCarthy has the worst EPA per play of the second worst of any quarterback in the 21st century. And the number 1 on that list is Jamarcus Russell. That means he has a worse EPA per play than Josh Rosen. He has a worse EPA per play than Ryan Leaf.
That's not good.
It's not good. And what makes that even worse is that there's really no excuse for him to be as bad as he's been. He has Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, a revamped offensive line, and Kevin O'Connell. And for him to be as bad as he's been, and also injured most of the time they've had him, if you're in that situation and you have as loaded an offense as the Vikings do, they just won 14 games with another quarterback who nobody expected to be good when he walked in there.
Look,
I think you just take a quarterback. I think you're just like, look, we're done with the JJ experiment. You have no reason to hold on to him. He's on a rookie deal. You can cut him whenever you feel like it.
Damn,
or trade him if anybody's willing to take him. I don't know why anyone would.
That's crazy. You're already at that point with him. I just put it to you like this. This is so if you're a Vikings fan, you're looking at, all right, Sam Darnold, we just had the best version of Sam Darnold that we possibly could ever gotten last year. Had a damn good season. Yes, it did. There were some moments you could have had better, especially in that playoff game. It is what it is. You also in that building had Daniel Jones, and I'm not saying what he's doing in Indy he'd be doing in Minnesota. I'm not saying that at all, but we have seen what he does when he has talent around him. All right, is that fair to say? All right,
he can game manage with talent around him. Yes.
That's fine, but he'll let the playmakers make plays. All right, so you gotta find a way to sell this JJ thing to your fan base, because you literally let those 2 guys walk out the building and you put your eggs on JJ, a guy that already missed his whole rookie season, got injured, missed some games and some time this year. That literally Carson Wentz hanging by a damn thread because you're like, no, JJ's not ready yet. And and you finally put him in, and this is the
which makes the whole situation look even worse.
when you literally
Sacrificed a man's health for this guy.
when you literally
He sucked after anyway.
this man JJ, the only amount of film that he has put on tape is not a lot in the 2 years he has been a professional NFL football player. And the performances that he's putting on film is not good at all. Yes, that fourth quarter in week 1 against Chicago, I was like, okay, I needed to see something because you played horrible for 3 quarters and then all of a sudden you turned into Billy Badass in the fourth. Ever since then, I don't know how they won that game against Detroit. I have no clue how they won that game.
They've won basically despite him, which goes to the amount of talent on the team. I didn't even get into the defense. The Brian Flores led defense has had to carry this team, and they've done an okay job of it.
Wearing down is because they're like they're. I mean, you can. They're not. I don't know if it's been a huge story or not, but you can just tell the frustration with Jettas after every possession where the ball is just it's either thrown way over his head or short or off target. You just got to put it in the vicinity of Jettas and he'll take it over from there. That's it.
Yeah. And this is a guy that 2 years ago had 1,000-yard season in half of a season with Josh Dobbs throwing him the ball most of the time. he has produced with Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs, Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins. He has produced with anybody except JJ McCarthy. He's even produced it decently with JJ McCarthy. He produced with Carson Wentz, who wasn't playing well.
I'm over here debating to trade this guy on my fantasy team. I got Jettas, and I'm just like, I can't do it because it's Jettas, but I'm like, the quarterback play is killing my man right now, bro. I'm just like,
right. And that's what I'm saying, right? Like JJ McCarthy defenders might point to like, well, there's been like some injuries on the offensive line, whatever.
And everybody got injuries. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro.
Bullshit. No excuse. That offensive line has been so loaded, even if you're missing a guy or two. With that receiving core, that defensive support, that coaching, and most of that offensive line, you don't get to be worse than Ryan Leaf. You don't get to be worse than Josh Rosen in that situation. And that's what I'm getting to is Cam Ward has not been good, but Cam Ward is surrounded by nothing. His head coach was the first head coach fired, and that was his first year. He doesn't have the receivers. He's had like some okay moments from guys like A.O.W.
Yeah.
That's basically been it. He doesn't have the run support. The offensive line is bad. Cam Ward has reasons why he's underperformed. JJ McCarthy has no excuse.
What's your excuse?
And that's why I think, look, if you can get a Jaden Maivia, a Brendan Sorsby in that offense, I think you just do it. I don't really buy the idea of let's kick the can down the road for next year and hope next year is good, because people said that about this year and now this year isn't good anymore. I think you just take a shot. I think you just try. If a quarterback has been playing well, take him. If he sucks, give him a second year. If he still sucks, find another one. When you don't have a crazy amount of other needs, and the Vikings don't, like their only other need is like what, a corner. They can get a corner in the second round.
Hey, you keep throwing stones or at the damn glass ceiling until you break it. I don't know the right metaphor right now because I'm zooted as hell. But at the point that I'm trying to make is at the end of the day, if you know that you don't have the guy, you go get it. I mean, you just got to you have to find the answer at quarterback. But at the same time, the good GMs are the ones that in the mix I'm trying to find it. I'm still make sure that I gotta build the actual true fundamentals of building a team. I got to make sure I got my trenches right. I got to make sure that I can, whoever I got back there, I can protect them regardless. I got to make sure I get, dogs on the defensive side that can get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
So
they do have a pretty expensive team overall. They really need to make sure that the quarterback they keep is cheap. What do they do when JJ's rookie contract is over? They're not going to pay him. That'd be insane. They're going to need a quarterback anyway.
Especially if he continues to play like this. Yeah, no. That's an easy decline on the option.
Also, speaking of what to do at the quarterback position, I remember when we were talking about the draft originally, and you had proposed what has an idea that's seemingly aged very well. Shedeur Sanders to the 49ers, saying like it's not you as a way to avoid locking yourself in and paying Brock Purdy, getting another rookie quarterback in there. That take has aged very well.
I mean, I only say that is because there were things about Brock Purdy that concerned me. One was durability things. Obviously, his got knocked out of the NFC Championship game. We saw how that played out, and literally the whole trajectory of how that game went. He's missed some times, like in other years. Missed time this year. And yes, he had a good game 2 weeks ago, but this game last week, this game Monday night against, and don't get me wrong, and I'm not poo-poo on the Panthers. Kudos to them who are trying to turn the direction of their franchise around, and they're playing actually solid football right now, especially on the defensive side. They showed up, and this man threw 3 interceptions in the first half, and I'm just looking at like, wait, hold up. Mac Jones, who they really originally wanted to draft over Trey Lance regardless, they really went up to go get Mac. Finally get him in the system. I'm just going to say it. Mac Jones been looking real fluid in this offense, a lot better than Brock.
No, it's true. And we've seen reasons to believe that was going to happen because we've seen times, even in his Super Bowl making season, where 2 of his guys would go down and he would just forget how to play football until they came back. And like Brock Purdy played well with the guys that were there, but he never demonstrated the ability to carry a team. And to be fair, Kyle Shanahan has never looked for quarterbacks to carry a team. He's looked for quarterbacks to game manage.
System. Yes.
Yeah. Mac Jones has done a better job of that this season than Brock Purdy, very significantly. And he would be so much cheaper than now Brock Purdy now is, had they just done that from the beginning.
Cheap. Look,
you'd have the money to build an offense back up around Mac Jones by not paying Brock Purdy and paying Mac Jones instead.
I put it to you this way, Randy. All right. Why were you in a rush to pay him? You had contractually control over his rights. You didn't have to. What was wrong with one more prove it year? I would have what was wrong with that? What's wrong with making sure that Brock Purdy was going to be the guy to lead your franchise to continue this run of being an NFC contender? Because that's what the 49ers have been, but they've had some injuries and it's biting them. I don't know how the hell they've been getting along with this whole MacGyver act this year, but and kudos to Kyle Shanahan. But at some point the gig is going to be up. That division is not a slouch. There's 2 teams that's going to beat the shit out of them in that division, and we haven't even talked about the whole NFC. And if we talk about as a whole, if they somehow miraculously get to a Super Bowl, who the hell you think you're going to beat in the damn AFC? So, look, man. You got it for me. If I'm if I'm signing checks, if I was ever a GM, I need to make sure if I got questions, I need them checked off the checked off list that makes me feel comfortable giving you that big ass contract. And I just think that there was times where the guy was still, yeah, he plays well in Kyle Shanahan's system, but that motherfucker is still Mr. Irrelevant. And there's times where it's like, all right, CMC goes down for a couple of games. He don't look so sharp. Oh damn, Trent Williams, he's getting older, man. God, Trent Williams missing a game or two. They damn sure don't look the same. George Kittle goes out for extended amount of times because that happens pretty often in the regular season type of situation. Damn, he don't look so damn sharp. There's times where, he's a product of his environment, good or bad, indifferent. And that's Brock Purdy.
And to be fair, in this year, he has been significantly worse than he had ever been before, even when losing guys. Part of that could be the injuries wearing on him. But
he's Mr. Irrelevant, Randy.
No, I'm not. I get it. I get it. But also
irrelevant, Randy. Damn it. The system of Kyle Shanahan just happens to be damn good, but damn it, you gave a bunch of money to motherfucking Mr. Irrelevant.
I get it. But my point in saying that is even when he wasn't putting up the like MVP numbers that he did when all of his talent was around him, he was never this bad. He has been uniquely bad this season, even past the cracks that we saw when guys would go out. And I do think that part of that is probably the result of injuries. I don't think that he was ever as good as he was 2 years ago. I think that was a mirage. I don't know if he was necessarily always this bad either underneath the mirage.
Yeah.
But what I think the important thing is had they not paid Brock Purdy, they would have had Mac Jones right there. And they have to have that conversation now because I think they're going to want to keep Mac Jones. They wanted him anyway. What do you do with Brock Purdy? Do you think there's a team that would be willing to trade for him, like the Steelers, who are not in a position to draft one, who don't have the draft capital to trade up, who would have to trade up really far to do it?
Man, Randy,
they have a Mike. They also have a great coach in Mike Tomlin. They have what should be great defensive support, although it's dropped off this year. But
I'm not gonna lie, that's an interesting take right there. I never looked at it that way. But you can't.
If they don't take a swing on a quarterback in the draft, we've seen he made a Super Bowl. He made a. I get that it wasn't him, but he played well enough with the pieces around him to make a Super Bowl. And the year before that, having an undefeated run that led to the NFC Championship game.
Nah, hey, that's why I don't hate that take. That's actually quite interesting. It's intriguing to see what happens down the stretch because I think there's enough time for another Purdy injury. I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just saying the guy's been fragile lately. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, he put like Joe Montana numbers up at one point.
Yeah, but
again, we know that wasn't like him on his own, but
of course.
But maybe Tomlin can do like Shanahan light with him.
That's crazy. Hey, you never know. I would have just wanted to prove it year. That's why. Same thing with the offense. I would have wanted another prove it year before you gave that money to it away.
Yeah, that's what the Colts should have done with Daniel Jones. That's what the Giants should have done with Daniel Jones. You do prove it years. You don't go all in on a quarterback off a small sample size. You just don't do it.
Give me proven years. But hey, man, always appreciate some good sports banter with you, my brother, man. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. If you need audio needs, y'all know where they do. Going over to Instagram, tap in with Panther on Acid on Instagram. That's Randy's page right there. You need audio needs. Other than that, y'all know where to find me, Casey Wildcard on my Twitter, with any other content that I be dropping. If it's not here on I.O.W Sports Network. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It's alerts every time we drop content. You know what it is. But hey, always a pleasure, man. And hey, again, happy belated birthday to the brother Randy Weber. And he got his birthday wish with Shane Bowen getting that pink slip. It's get on out of here. But, hey, man, we gonna get up out of here, man. Again, hit that. Hey, hit the notifications. Hey, let you know when we just drop some content, man. Hey, we up out of here. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Hey, we out here. Peace.
Yeah. Silent Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Como de lo cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark.